Just saying, look at the size of my mirror, and please excuse the mess down there, but like this is my new room. It's so exciting. This is a walk-in wardrobe that I'm very keen about, but guys, the thing that I need to show you is these. They don't actually work, but I told you I was going to show you my blinds, and it's happened. So guys, today is 7 on Sunday, and this is the first time filming in my new house, in my new location, even though this is not going to be the location because I'm sleeping on a mattress on the floor until I can buy furniture because I'm in lockdown, but also until all that stuff comes. So even though I'm in the house, I don't have my books with me, and I still have a lot to try and get through. When I made that video of my TBR of books I want to read soon, I'm trying to make it through, but I'm not doing very well. But I also have a study area in the other room that I'm also going to try and put bookshelves in, but I'm going to be putting bookshelves in here. I was trying to not have to put bookshelves in my bedroom because it's just really looming when they're just staring at you every single moment of the day when you're sleeping, and it stressed me out. But it also just was like very hard when you don't have like a lot of space for things. Like my old bedroom was quite large, and this bedroom is a lot smaller than my old bedroom, and I'm trying to put bookshelves in here. So I'm actually gonna buy like proper bookshelves as well. Like I'm not gonna do the shelf thing that I did before, because even though I loved my old shelves, the main problem with them was that they actually kind of damaged some of the books where the bracket was, because I would have to shove them into the bracket to make them fit because I own too many books. I don't know, I have like so many books to read, so many things to do. It's too hard. But the step is I'm in my house. Like, it's so exciting. Like, once we actually have the house looking good and everything where it should be, I can film like a house tour if that is something that people want to see. But for today's video, we are doing a 7 on Sunday topic. It's another one that I suggested, but I literally spammed Grace with a whole heap of topic ideas, and I was like, please talk about all these things because I'm excited. Because I mean, with my top 5 Tuesday, I am a bit of a veteran for this kind of like standard of like having a video a week, doing a top 5 of something or a negative of something. So when 7 on Sunday happened, I was very excited because this is something I can totally be a part of. Please follow Grace. She is linked down below. She has amazing content. She's a lovely, bubbly person, and I definitely think you need to watch her, and also join the Goodreads group so you can keep up to date with the topics that are coming up and what we are generally doing. And today we are talking about duologies. Did I already say that? I cannot remember because like I'm just so excited I'm in my house. But we are talking about our top 7 favorite duologies, and I do read a lot of duologies, but I've come to realize I never finish them. Like I just read the first one and then 6 years goes past, and then I end up unhauling the second one because I'm like, who cares about this book anymore? So I managed to find 7 that I have read, and I did enjoy all of them, but some might be a little bit iffy. But like I definitely need to try and finish all these duologies. Like when I get all my books, this is going to be a priority, trying to finish the duologies that I've started. Also, if you can hear this noise that is going on right now, my dad's actually installing our TV, so he's like putting holes in the wall, he's threading wires through, he's putting PowerPoints in, he's doing all kinds of stuff and banging on the walls as well. So it's all just very loud, so I'm sorry if that comes through. Yeah, the first duology I am definitely going to recommend is Pivot Point by Casey West. Like I read this last year, and I've had this duology on my TBR for the longest time. It was just chilling, it was just waiting, and I finally picked it up, and oh my good god, I loved this so much. It was such an interesting story, and again, as I've said many times, it really reminded me of Taylor Jenkins Reid's Maybe in Another Life, which is about a decision that's like dual perspective. Like I've decided that I really like this as a format, even though it's a very small niche, because I've only found 2 books that do it. But also there was that movie called Sliding Doors, I think. Like I've already forgotten the title. I used to always talk about this movie. So there's 3 times that I've seen this happen, but I feel like it doesn't happen much. But I really enjoyed the first book, and I really wanted to read the second book, so I think I read it like in the next month or 2. Like I made a priority to get to that second book, because the first book is about her perspective of the 2 decisions, and then the second book is her perspective and then a friend's perspective. So like we could see both sides of the world again, which was really cool. But I highly recommend it if you want some like X-Men style superpowers in your story, because they all go to this like superpower school and no one knows about it, and when they go out in the real world they have to pretend like they know what's going on. But it was just so good. Next, I want to talk about Daughter of the Pirate King by Trisha Levenseller. This is another duology that was just so much fun. I was really happy to have all these like ocean pirate type stories. Like I felt like I was missing out in life by having read none up until that point. Like obviously I have read books that are set at the sea and everything, but I just wanted some more vibes that give me like the Pirate of the Caribbean vibes, and this totally did. And I listened to both of these on audio, so that is definitely the way that I recommend it, because the voices really liven up the story. And even though I buy Tricia Leverseller's books, I always listen to the audiobooks, and I always buy them because I know I'm going to enjoy them, because she's a great author, she's a great writer, and I just highly recommend it if you want some sea shenanigans in your life. Next, I want to talk about Grace and Fury by Tracy Banghart, and I can actually recommend this because I just read Queen of Ruin, and oh my god, like I finally did it. Like, how long have I been saying I need to read this book? Because I read Grace and Fury in a day, had so much fun, waited the year, didn't buy the sequel for another year because obviously it got expensive, but even with that, I don't know why I didn't buy this book straight away. And even though the sequel wasn't as good as the first one, like I felt like the story in the first one was really going somewhere, and then the second book everything became like really convenient, and I'm like, okay, but it is a really big ode to like feminism and like women power, and I highly recommend it if you want to have a story like that, because really with Serena and Nomi, who are the main characters, they basically get sent to the wrong places because Serena is being trained to be a Grace, which is like one of the king's mistresses for her whole life, and she is gonna get picked. But then the superior picks Nomi, who is not trained to do this, who is Serena's sister, and she is also breaking the law by like learning how to read. So then Serena gets caught with a book, and then she gets sent to this prison for women. So basically I feel that like both of them would have excelled better in each other's shoes, and that's why they're like both in different type of cages and different type of locks, and just like it's so good. Like, I feel like I'm going on such a tangent about this book, but just read it. It's just such a fun one. Next, I'm going to talk about Six of Crows by Levi Dugo, and I know that there is going to be that third Six of Crows novel, but it's already been like, what, 10 years at this point that we haven't had it yet. Like, I know she's going to write it, but it is not a priority for Levi Dugo. So at this point, with the 2 books that we have, I definitely would like to recommend them. And I'm sure that everyone and their mum has read the Six of Crows duology, but I'm still going to talk about it because this is just a fun band of characters. If you want to read a found family story, I feel like the tropes literally started with these books, because I feel people never used to talk about it as much until we had the Crows and the crew and everyone being there for each other and really fighting for each other. And again, like, I feel like heist books really came into popularity after this book came out. Like, I feel like Six of Crows was really like a stepping stone for so many books to come out, and I love that so much because I love reading books with all these vibes going on. But I just for sure recommend this, and especially too because like Shadow and Bone, the shows come out and the Six of Crows characters are in this book, so it does make you feel that you need to read Shadow and Bone and Six of Crows to be able to watch the show, so you can like follow along, even though the Six of Crows characters have been introduced like really early. It's just so good. Next, I want to talk about Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. And yes, this is a duology that I only gave 4 stars to, and I feel like I just wasn't one of the people that were like fully invested in this duology, but I still think that it was such a beautiful story. Like, she writes so beautifully, but the story in general, like the love story between Laszlo and Sarai, was just the best thing in this story for me, and also the world building, and there was a lot of mystery around it and trying to figure out where the story was going to go and what was going to happen. And I definitely just highly recommend picking this up if you want some really like high ass fantasy that's going to just take you to different worlds. Like, seriously, the like world building and how vivid this story was is done so well, and really as an overarching branch of the story, the duology was just enough story to like get you by, and I just loved it so much. Next, I want to talk about Spin the Dawn by Elizabeth Lim, because this was just such a fun duology, and I will admit again, I liked the first book more than the second one, because this does happen sometimes that you start with such an epic story and then it gets wrapped up too quickly in the second book. And even though that isn't the issue here, I just wasn't as invested because Eden wasn't in the story as much, and he's my favorite character. But I really did like Maya and her story, and again, it's a mix between Mulan and Project Runway, and it's all about making clothes and her trying to hide her identity, and it was just so much fun. Like, I really enjoyed it. But another reason too is the first one was so light and fun, and the second one was just like all death and despair and oh my god, everything sucks in my life. So like, you gotta be invested for the characters. So like, again, my investment was Eden because he's my favorite character out of the 2, even though Maya is amazing. But like, if you weren't fussed on Maya and you weren't fussed on Eden and you went into the second one, it's all very everything sucks but still fun. And the last book I'm going to talk about is The Wrath in the Dawn by Renee Ardier, and this is one that I'm kind of like putting on the list just because I had nothing else. I really didn't like the second one as much. Like, I loved The Wrath in the Dawn. It's such a beautiful story, and like Shahrazad and Khaled's love story has always meant so much to me. Like, they are still one of my favorite ships, even though I've read so many books with so many different couples and so much fun other things. I just love them so much, and I just feel like with the second one it was again the trope of them not being together for a lot of the book, and then they did come back together, but it was always like this separation kind of existing there that was really annoying. And then it became more of a like military style story where they were like, you know, fighting the man and all this stuff, which is still fun, but like I just feel like I would have wanted more from the story. Like, I think there was this bit with a magic carpet too, and I'm just like, kill. Okay, doesn't need to be in the story, but we're just gonna go with it. So guys, that is all of the books I want to talk about today for Duologies, and as I said, there are so many that I need to finish. Like, maybe I should make it a priority in 2022 that I need to finish Duologies, because damn, I've got way too many. But anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!